Hey, I have a question. Do you know what time it is? It's game time! That's right, it's game time. This week in the US, we are going through the final round cuts in the NFL. Each and every season, as they get closer to actual season starting, they have to cut down their roster from this huge list of people all the way down to the final group of people that they're going to go out and take on the game of football with. Now, I realize there's people who watch this from all over the world, so I apologize for the localized example, but I wanted to tune into something that's happening right now just to talk about the mindset of how these players have to approach the game every single day. I mean, imagine showing up to training camp and you have to pour your life, your heart, your guts, your attention, everything you've got into trying to make this team and trying to be the best you could possibly be. And week after week after week, you just see people just getting cut off the team one after the next after the next. And they're whittling it down to this final group of people that are going to make it. And they're going to be the team this year that organization takes into the league. Now, the question becomes, how does each one of these players approach the game? You know, there's some people who show up and they have an MVP mindset. What is that? The most valuable player mindset. They're the rainmakers. They're the ones that make or break each and every game. They're the ones who are willing to pour their heart, their soul, their energy, everything they've got into this game to make sure they get the absolute most out of themselves and everyone around them on the team. Now, there's other players on that team who are very good. They're some of the best in the world, per se. You know, they're second-round players, though. They're people who they keep on for the practice team. They're people they keep on to really be there in case one of the main players goes down. These guys can step up and deliver, and they're not quite as good or as tenacious or crazy or out there as these MVP players, but they're very good players. They're willing to push themselves. They're willing to be their best. They're willing to stand out. They're just not at the same level as those MVPs. And then there's the final group of people, the people that are holding on to the last thread. Their goal every round is just don't get cut. And these people obviously have the heart of a champion, but the way they show up, the way they play the game, the approach they go after with puts them in a position that each and every day they're scared and they're praying and they're hoping they don't get kicked off the team. Now, the big question becomes, how do you approach your game of life? Meaning whatever team you play for, whether it's an office, a company, a worldwide organization, a nonprofit, whether it's your family team that you play for, your community, some type of religious organization, whatever team or community you're a part of, how do you approach the game every chance and opportunity you have? Do you approach the game as an MVP, the most valuable player they've got out there? Do you approach the game as a second string player? Someone who does your best, but you're not quite the person who makes or breaks the opportunities? Or do you approach the game of life as kind of the person holding on to the last thread, hoping your husband or wife doesn't cut you this round, hoping, your boss doesn't fire you tomorrow? How do you approach the game? And most importantly, how do you approach the game in the most important areas of your life? We refer to these areas as the majors of life. And we've broken them down in our new book, Live It, Achieve Success by Living with Purpose. If you don't have a copy, make sure to go to liveitbook.com and buy your copy today. We have some special pre-order bonuses that we're going to be doing with everyone. But we talk about these categories, and we're going to talk about them in today's download. Make sure you download the download as well. And we're going to be giving you some questions to help you identify what are these major areas of your life and how do you approach them mentally and emotionally every day. Not only how you currently approach them, but how can you up your game? How can you take yourself from someone who's holding on to that last thread, hoping not to get cut, to being someone that becomes an MVP, one of the most valuable players on your team and community? We want to help you step up your game. We want to help you take it to the top of what's possible in your life, your business, your health, and everywhere in between. Download the worksheet, apply it, become an MVP in every area of your life. And I hope you really enjoy this episode. I hope you buy a copy of our new book, and I hope you have an amazing week. And we see you again next week. Remember, it's game time. Oh yeah, one more thing. Share with us how you're currently being an MVP in your team or community. On the blog, on Facebook, in the comments here, let us know what's your strategy that makes you an MVP in all the different areas of life. Not only that, if you've had a transition area where at one point you might have been holding on to the last string and now you're a total MVP in that area of your life, share with us how you made the transition so that we can pay those lessons forward and show other people how others have done it as well.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for awesome videos each and every week.